Hi there. Today I'll be explaining how the blood carries oxygen and the different types of blood. First, let's talk about what the blood does in the body. When you breathe, you absorb oxygen through your lungs, but how exactly is this done? In normal conditions, oxygen cannot dissolve into the blood fast enough to keep you alive. In order for your blood cells to carry oxygen, you need a chemical compound called hemoglobin. The oxygen can be binded to the hemoglobin and be detached, and this does a far greater job at transporting oxygen. Okay, now time to talk about the blood types and a bit of genetics. There are 4 major blood types: A, B, A, and O, but what do they mean? To explain this, we first have to take a quick look at genetics. In genetics, you are given 2 sets of alleles, one from your mother and another from your father. Alleles are sections of DNA, also known as genes. These genes are code instructions for how to build the antigens. When talking about blood types, the alleles signal what type of antibodies and antigens and other blood type genes are created. Okay, now let's move on to the blood types. For blood type AB, there are these outer structures of protein on the cells called antigens, and they're paired antibodies that characterize blood types. For these, just remember that blood type A has B antibodies, which signals for an attack on a foreign object, but also the B blood cell type, and the opposite is true, which is blood type B having A antibodies. But since blood type A and B have their own separate alleles, what happens if they come together? Because both alleles are dominant, unlike blood type O, which we will get to in a bit, they cannot both overpower one or the other, so they have to sort of combine to create blood type AB. I say sort of because their antigens are produced, but not their antibodies. They're generally known as the universal blood acceptors. So what about the O blood type I was talking about earlier? When an allele does not code for either an A or B antigen, the person does not make an antigen and will have blood type O. They're generally known as the universal donor blood type, but because O is recessive, which will get overpowered by the dominant alleles, we cannot have AO or BO blood types. However, the gene is still present despite being inactive, which means it can be carried down. The table shown here shows all the possible blood types a mother and father with the listed blood types can have. Keep in mind that the O blood type allele is recessive and will not play a role in the blood type, meaning that AO will just be A blood type, but can be combined with another O allele to form the O blood type, which is how A and B can create the O blood type. To explain this graph a little further, we have to go back to what I said about genetics. A mother and father give up 2 pairs of one allele, which forms a blood type. Let's look at all the possibilities of a father with a B blood type and a mother with A blood type can have as an example. Because O is recessive and the father does not have an O allele possible, blood type O is impossible here. However, the A and the other A, or the A and the O blood type, can be combined to create the A blood type. B and the A alleles can be combined to create the AB blood type, and the B and O alleles can create the B blood type. That is going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed and have a nice one.